Hello you 2000 Awakening Wonders, welcome back to my channel, the voice of truth and freedom, here in China. It's something like that, isn't it, Russell? Well, truth of China and my freedom in China, which may be more freedom than many Westerners have got back there in the UK or maybe in America or other Western countries. I'm not sure, you tell me if you have the freedom that you want. Everyone seems to harp on about the freedom of speech. And there seems to be quite a little of that, really. You decide. Okay, so in this garden, in this complex, as with many complexes, the gates are operated by cameras, face recognition, and I don't know if that's going to be a bit like finger recognition, because my mobile phone, I use my thumb as the ID to access and open my phone. And sometimes if I'm doing some work, some DIY, and I get a bit of silicone on my thumb, I can't open it. So I've got to really scrub it and make sure my fingerprint is visible to the phone's ID. Otherwise I can't open my phone. Frustrating. So if I have an accident and get a scar on my face, will the gates let me in? We'll see. Hope that accident never comes. So in this complex there's 6 tall buildings like this, and each one has 28 floors. There's 3 apartments on each floor. Sorry, some of them do have 4 apartments on each floor, and they're all occupied, strangely enough. It's now construction finished here probably about 5-6 years ago, and they're all occupied. There's very little maintenance work going on now, and so it's quite peaceful, except some of the neighbours can be a little bit noisy at times. They can't talk quietly, but you do get used to it. You do get used to it. And 1 or 2 of them do play instruments. Sadly, there's one in my building that plays the piano, too loud for my liking, but that's life. And yeah, there's pathways that go into the complexes, into each building. Each building has its own network of pathways, and then they all join up in a communal area just here, where I'm going to walk to now. The music has stopped. There was some dancing earlier, and it stopped because it's gone 9 o'clock. It's gone 9 o'clock, and there's people sat out over here behind me. Their children are playing, because the whole area is safe. There is a wall going around with an electric fence, actually. I'm not sure if they need that much security, but they have got it, a bit like a military camp. And I'm just going to walk past. I'm just going to walk past a bin area. Everyone brings their rubbish here between the hours of 7 and 9 o'clock at night, or 7 and 9 o'clock in the morning. And this chap behind me will take the rubbish from these bins here, put it on his trolley, and off they go. Take it to wherever it's going to go. All the rubbish is, split between recyclables and plastics and paper and cardboard, etc. There's some men over here to my right playing mahjong or cards, I'm not too sure, and some women over there in the distance, I won't get too close, who are doing a bit of jiving to Chinese music. Really quite entertaining, to be honest. So all these people, they're probably my age actually, but just look a little bit older. Chinese, do you not think this as well? Chinese look young. All their life they look young until they hit about 55, and then they suddenly look 70. Sorry Chinese, if any Chinese viewers watching this, but that is how it seems to be. Chinese seem to age very quickly once they get past 55. But they're still physically fit. I've seen them climbing mountains. Oh my God, they are so fit. But they just age a bit fast once they get older. The men, well, I'm not sure if they age so much as the women, but they do tend to drink and smoke quite a bit, and then go for the cushy life of just playing cards and gambling. But there you go, that's just the way of life. And over here, I'm going to walk this way now. There's an area for where the kids can play, a lovely little park. And outside the complex, no more than 50 meters away, is a preschool for very young kids, and yeah, so everything available. There's everything available in this complex for families who are living together. The old folk, the people who go to work, they don't have to travel far to get to work. There's metro stations and bus stations nearby. So here's the play area for the kids. And now behind the camera, this area here is where there's probably about 8 or 9 cats. And in my last video, doing a walk and talk from the shop a week ago now, I said I'd get some food to feed these cats, and 3 or 4 people said don't feed. If you're curious and wondering how much it would cost to live in a place like this, it's round about 3,000 RMB in this part of China, Guangzhou, just outside the centre. So that's about 350 English pounds. What's that? $400 US dollars a month. That's not including gas, water, and electric. Sadly, gas, water, and electric for a month is coming to round about, it's actually around about 40 English pounds. 40 English pounds, gas, water, and electric. So that's what is that? About $55 a month. Because it's now 10:30 in the evening, and I'm having a very pleasant walk around this complex, and I'm just passing a woman in her pajamas. It is something Chinese do. Once they put their pajamas on, they go out, and sometimes they'll even go to the shops in their pajamas. It's quite strange actually, because they say, "Oh, take your shoes off before you come in," but they may go out in their slippers, and that's okay. And they go back into the apartment. Yeah. So that's quite funny. And oh, don't sit there because your trousers are dirty. But they'll go out in their pajamas and sit on a bench. And again, they're sort of like, wow. I'm not going to say hypocrites, because that's quite an insulting word, but I do want to say it's amusing. Once they get their pajamas on, that's it. Then they go to bed in their pajamas. So, yeah, one of those things. It's a cultural thing, whatever. Never been a fan of pajamas, personally. More of a birthday suit person when I go to bed with a hot water bottle. But certainly not needed now. It's nearing the end of February, and the temperatures are rising quite fast now. During the winter months, I bought 1 jumper and probably wore it twice. And I did buy a thick coat, a thick padded coat. That cost me 69 RMB, so that's 8 English pounds, maybe $10 for a thick padded coat. It's like wearing a quilt, a duvet. Not at all stylish, but very, very warm. And I wore that probably for about 2 weeks. There you go. They have some lovely ornaments in the gardens. I'm not trying to sell it, but I am selling it because of what some people have said what China is like. And you know, obviously if you're new to this channel, you might go, well, what's it like outside? What's it like outside the complex in the streets? I've done other videos of that. Please go back into my channel, go look at some of the stuff in the playlist, or look at other YouTubers, and they will tell you what it's like out on the streets. It's really quite safe. Yeah, safe, beautiful, and friendly. And like I said in the previous video, safety is the best kind of freedom you could ever have. Right, so if you're thinking of coming to China and you're mature in age, you might want to live in a complex. If you're younger in age, you might want to live out on the street where there is no complex, and your front door and your stairwell is occupied by you know, another 6 or 7 apartments. Security is not quite as good. You'll have a security at the end of every street in most cities. There's a security guard. Some of them are lucky enough to have a little box to sit in. But it's very much like Britain was probably in the 60s, you know, where policemen had whistles. And yeah, unlike America, the police here do not have guns, which is good. That would be frightening, to be honest. So, if you're young, you may live in an apartment like this, or you may live outside. If you're a bit more older, I advise you to live in a complex, because all the amenities that you need are a stone's throw away. Oh, one more thing. If you are thinking to come into China for a holiday, you can't. It's very unlikely that you'll find a place like this unless you go on Airbnb. I'm not sure. I did see them on Airbnb when I went traveling just last year. Actually, I went to Turkey and Taiwan and Cambodia and Vietnam and Thailand, and I used Airbnb for those. So there are Airbnbs in China. I don't know how they work and how you pay them. Probably the same method as all the others, I guess. I can only guess that. But because you have to have your flights booked before you get your visa in many places to come to China, I'm not sure if you can arrange your Airbnb prior to doing that. I don't know, it's a little complicated. Yeah, I saw a comment that some Australian person saying I had to get my visa, so I had to get my flight ticket before I get the visa. And that's exactly what happened to me. I had to get mine too, which was, it's a pain in the backside because you don't know if you're going to get your visa. There you go, that's just the way it is. Right, so now, once again, I should say thank you very much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Please give me a thumbs up and write a comment, give me a like, and don't buy me a coffee. I don't drink coffee. Don't buy me anything. Just take care. All the best. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Electric fence. I'm not sure what's going to climb over that fence because on the other side it's literally about 40 foot, maybe more, maybe 60 to the street level. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, write a comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, just subscribe now. Does no harm. Bye-bye. Safe, beautiful and friendly. And like I said in the previous video, safety is the best kind of freedom you could ever have. Once you feel safe, it's kind of like, that's all you need. You just want to feel safe.